I look like low-key? Lord!
Writing about Hello Boss is really difficult. And if you couldn't tell from my upload schedule, I don't like working, so I gotta do something a little bit easier. My Adventures with Superman is a great show that feels like it's on the wrong channel. That's a statement that has been said ever since the teaser dropped, and all the first episode did when it dropped was reinforce the fact that this is not the average Adult Swim show. Now, most people think that way about this show for two main reasons. The first and less interesting reason is when people think of adult shows, they think of sex and cussing and drugs and blood and vomit as loud and as raunchy as possible. And since this show doesn't have that, I guess it's not adult enough, which is both funny and sad because not only is this exactly what a mindless teenager thinks an adult is, this being expected from an adult cartoon nowadays is really disappointing. The second reason is related to Adult Swim and the brand it is known for. Pretty much all of Adult Swim's original programming is known for being avant-garde with unique art styles, colorful writing, and off-kilter humor. Compared to shows like Aqua Teen Hunger Force, Rick and Morty, and Smiling Friends, My Adventures with Superman with its cleaner art style, calmer tone, and accessible humor seems relatively normal. I would say that this show looks pretty generic from the outside. So what makes this show so appealing? Honestly, it's kinda hard to pinpoint. Call it a cop-out, but this show is ordinarily great. It knows what it is and does its job well. I know I just said this, but aside from a few distinctions, this show is fairly basic. It's just a Superman cartoon if it was made for the modern generation. I guess one appeal is how natural the show feels. It's no Vox Machina, but the dialogue, specifically between Clark and Lois, can feel really seamless sometimes. Normies would call it fast, but I call it you've been classically conditioned by 7 years of Steven Universe. You need therapy. You need help. The fact that Lois finds out Clark is Superman 4 episodes in caught me completely off guard. I thought the writers would drag that out forever, and I'm so glad it didn't happen. What's even more endearing is that Lois confronts Clark about this in the next episode. And in the episode after that, Clark and Lois actually reconcile, along with Jimmy rightfully chastising them for ignoring him, along with the reveal that Jimmy already knows Clark is Superman because of course he fucking does. Oh my goodness, that's why this show is so appealing. Every annoying trope of modern cartoons that makes me want to taste the barrel of a shotgun to see if it actually tastes like strawberries isn't in this show. So far, if a problem or a conflict is brought up, it is handled, at least in major part, relatively quickly, which means shit gets done in this show. I wasn't worried at all when I first watched the end of You Will Believe a Man Can Lie, because I knew the writers weren't gonna drag this out for multiple episodes. Now, I'm not giving props just because they handle conflict quickly. I'm giving props because they handle conflict effectively. The characters are complex, the writing is focused, and the dialogue is heavy.
How did you know you'd be bulletproof?
I didn't. I just knew that you weren't. Yeah, let's find Jimmy and get out of here before something else happens.
To all the people who say My Adventures with Superman isn't an adult show because it doesn't curse every millisecond or mention sex every nanosecond,
Take it off.
What? What?
The jacket, bad boy.
What?
you're right. It's not adult. It's mature. And maturity transcends age. Respect transcends age. And those are the two main things this show radiates. Maturity in its writing and respect for its audience. It also fits pretty snugly in Adult Swim's current programming. Adult Swim is known for chaotic shows where you don't really know what to expect. So having a calmer show that's easier to follow is actually a great contrast to the more surreal content. Which means I just clickbaited you. Turns out My Adventures with Superman makes a lot of sense on Adult Swim, but I didn't even need to title the video that. All I needed to do was put Lois Lane in the thumbnail and y'all would have clicked on it anyway, because this is how you race swap a character. By making her an actual character, of course, but by making her really attractive. And I'm not gonna delve into why that could be a problem. Anyway, watch The Adult Outhouse, it's really good.
I'm out of here.